Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of A and B to C with your hosts Bob and Adrian. Adrian, how have you been, sir?
Still on the road to recovery with the illness. I think it's coming to the end of it, which is good. I don't sound as snotty, but it's still there.
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah, it's just living life, I guess. What about you?
So I have completed finally Ghost of Yotai. I got to say, what a game! What an ending! What a journey! I would say it's been. I'm quite surprised why it's scored is not as high as the other games this year, because
Really?
just in terms of story, that game was just amazing. The quality of it, the beauty of the graphics, everything. It was so beautiful. Just scenically, the game is stunning. Just
Yeah,
stunning. I'm haven't seen a game this generation that like really captures the kind of well lived in world that it kind of portrays. And
that's true.
I've got to say, it's just sitting back and reflecting the Ghost of Yotai. I think the theme hits well at the end. And I think I can understand why people would be, oh, is that it? Because I think
Oh,
the
man.
message is that I don't want to say, I don't want to ruin it for people, but
I ain't got to the end
yeah,
of the
yeah.
journey yet.
Well,
Still on it.
maybe we'll do a breakdown on that game because
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
I think what it is there's a deeper meaning into why it goes down the way it goes down. And I personally think for me, it's better than I say it's a much better package than Expedition 33. Even though I do think the story of Expedition 33 and how it ends is brilliant. So I would say as a
It's
whole
a fair one.
package, Yotai is better because how it sets everything up.
Hmm.
I would then say Expedition 33 storytelling is a lot better in terms of how the payoff towards the end. I don't get me wrong, Yotai's payoff is brilliant. Like I
Yeah,
personally I can understand, but if you don't have that attachment to the game to look for the deeper meaning, I can then understand why you would think it's a bit of a letdown. I think in terms of storyline, Expedition 33 is more accessible because you have, I think with Yotai, you need to have a level of maturity to understand the nuances and the subtleties in the story.
that's a good take, actually.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you haven't seen the ending yet, so we'll wait.
Yeah, let me get there. No, but I believe you're right. So I got no reason to doubt you because the story's great already. So
Maybe we should do a
yeah,
video game next episode because I really think I personally love reviewing games. I personally love reviewing games. Maybe we should do
yeah.
a side episode if people want to see it. If you want to see us review games, we're happy to do that. I think we got access to the latest and greatest, so why not?
I think regardless, we should do Ghost of Yota anyway. So
Yeah. Okay.
because the game is that good, you know what I mean? So
Okay. Let's do a Yotai review for the next episode, and then I'll take it from there.
yeah, cool.
And if it does well, it does well, right?
Mm.
Maybe it might become a thing for us in this channel. But okay, so obviously that's what I've been doing. You sir, you just still I'm guessing you're still playing Yotai?
Yeah, still in it, still getting distracted by side missions and well, I don't know. Can I say something about it? It's like
Go ahead,
what
go
I've
ahead.
noticed. Basically, when the bounties are hunting you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you still get, hunted down, chased. But sometimes you get a little backup now and again. So I was like, oh wow, okay. I like this little development. So
Oh yeah, yeah. I think it's a mechanism that's already been explained. You're talking about the wolf, right?
no, not the wolf. You know
Oh.
the well, it's gonna be a bit of a spoiler, so don't listen for like 10 seconds. You know when the is it Matsumuri clan, they start to help you, and they
Oh,
randomly show up in the field. Like I
I
was
never had
fighting like
that.
four of them. You never had that?
No.
I was like
Oh,
fighting four bounty hunters and like three samurai just ran in out of nowhere.
well, do you know why? Because you can't finish your battles. I finished my business, bro. I get
No, I
my
was on the last one.
I get
They jumped the last one. I was like, what the hell?
yeah, bro. It's because
Took my kill.
it's because you suck. It's like they
Nah, what do you mean?
they see you across the battlefield over there, thinking, "Oh man, that man's getting jumps. He's getting his ass beat." Actually, the Onryo's going down like that. Nah, we can't let that happen. And they jump in.
Well,
Like
I'm
with me, it's
deflecting all
different.
sorts. What do you mean?
With me, it's different. It's like, oh, that Adachi, like no man lasts more than like 3 seconds. Like that's it. That Adachi's cleaving into you like one way or another.
I just start switching weapons. But
It's getting look, my Adachi is getting bodies, bro. It's getting bodies. Yours, on the other hand, it's like singing, "Damn, it's been 5 minutes and you're still going. What's going on?" It's supposed to be the Onryu.
I'm just not taking damage. Just
Oh, got a silence.
parrying.
Rookie mistake. Yeah, look, dude, that's why they're helping you out.
Oh, fine, fair enough.
You got,
That's the way.
You got the
I
helper.
think just hating.
You
I think just hating because they helped me and you didn't get help.
No, bro. You got the helper brother out special. You got that pity save, man. I don't know what the hell's going on with you. They saw you. They thought, nah.
I'd be saving them. That's why.
Yeah. It's like, it's sad though, isn't it? It's like, we have to make you look. It's like, it's like that thing that boxers do. So, like when a boxer gets beaten by someone, they will then have to go in future fights and give their predictions as that person that beat them has to be the best. Because then what they're saying then is if they go with the other guy, there's 2 people that could whoop your ass. So they have to say the person they fought is the best on the planet. That's why they lost. It's like when Ryan Garcia says like, "Oh yeah, no, Tank's the best on the planet." But you know what I mean? Like it's
gotta hype up your, I get it.
You gotta hype up the bad guy, bro. And that's what happens.
It's just part of the game. You just do. I guess you just murdered too many people. Maybe I don't know.
No, bro. It's like
I saved them at Suburia. I saved them.
I saved them all. What are you talking about? Like, dude, I'm pretty sure they did nothing.
Like, you beat the Yotai 6 or whatever, but you didn't, help them.
I did. Look, I don't want to get into the technical details, but look, what they're saying, with all the castle scenes, there was no red guys left, right? There was plenty of blue guys, but there's no red guys left. Anyways, right? All right, detract. Today's episode is kind of basically endings that kind of ruined the payoff for shows. So what we're going to be talking about today is we're going to find animes that we picked or TV series that we picked that we thought the ending sucked or the plotline sucks. Therefore, what would have been a better alternative to it? We'll come up with a title for it. I don't know. I had a couple of title ideas written down for this episode. Is fixing endings or what went wrong? Because I would say a lot went wrong with the 2 I've picked, because I'm certainly not happy with the way they ended and the amount of time I've invested into it. Because that's the thing, right? I think the reason why this makes such a great topic is the amount of time and effort people invest into a series they watch for just a crappy payoff. And I think that's, to me, it's like the biggest kind of like, oh my God. So this is what like 5 or 6 years have accumulated to. It's this. You know what I mean? Especially like imagine if it was something like One Piece, right? And like it's like,
oh my, that'll piss me off.
Like how many chapters is it in? It's like 1,000 plus now, right?
Yeah, it's good for a decade. It's a decade, probably more than a decade now. It's just.
I tell you,
there is a bad ending. Oh my, that'd be riots in Japan, I think.
Okay,
maybe more than that. It might be the world.
Well, yeah, dude, man. Look, can you imagine if the payoff was so poor? Like right now, there is one manga series that's tethering on or teetering on the edge of, oh my God, this better be bloody worth it, and that's Hajime no Ippo.
Look,
because right now it's Hajime no Sendo. There is no Ippo in any of this. Ippo's been retired for 300 chapters, I think.
300?
Yeah, dude.
What?
He's been retired for 300 chapters. What? He's been someone else. He's been like a part-time trainer. And we're watching all his former people he's beaten become world championship contenders. I think some of them might have won titles.
Oh my day. So he's like well behind.
Oh, bro, he's like falling off. Anyways, I don't want to get into Ippo. Ippo's got his own problems, and the ones I picked is probably more egregious than Ippo, because the difference is Ippo's finished. Ippo's not finished. As a boxer,
He's
he's
just,
finished.
damn, he's just done. He's not even like,
Yeah,
don't
dude.
give him a chance. Like, he's just done.
Dude, as a boxer, he's finished. But what I'm trying to say is, right, Ippo is finished as a boxer, but like the series is ongoing, right? So there's a road to redemption somewhere. So somewhere he could actually redeem himself. These series I'm picking are done. That's it. It's written into the annals of history. That is its lore. That is its canon. That's it. And that's why I freaking hate these two. But anyways, what do you got? You got anything to say about the topic before we jump right in?
I think mine are simple, but they annoyed me. So it's like,
okay,
yeah, it just annoyed me. It's like,
oh wow, I'm
you'll
quite
see
curious.
when we go through it. It's just like, yeah,
you're so bitter about it. You can see it.
it's just, you know, it's just, you know, the climax. You're like, yeah, this, what the hell? What's this?
Yeah, I know. Right?
After all that, it's like,
oh mate,
wasting my years. You know,
I think the more egregious ones as well is right. Not only is it they wasted your time and the payoff is bad, but they kind of just ruined the lore and the world building as part of it. As you know, it's like, yeah, okay, we're never going to do this again, and on top of that, we are going to ruin the world building as part of it as well. So you know, we're going to salt the earth so you can never rebuild or regrow anything from it again. That's how much we hate it. But yeah, I mean, like, look, let's jump straight into it. So do you want to go first or shall I?
You know, let me get this first one out of the way. I might as well.
Yeah, go
a
on.
simple one.
Go on.
I think a lot of people know it. So it's like Game of Thrones season 8.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I jumped into that one.
That's brilliant. But because I was going to say, like, remind me again, and the viewers as well. Season 8 was basically just how they concluded it, right?
It concluded the whole thing, like the whole series. Like they're doing no more after that.
Was the ending based on the books? You know,
I think they, like, I'm not sure if they stuck to the books completely because I haven't really read them, but I know TV shows normally diverge away from the books.
Yeah.
But
okay.
I think the base premise was part of the books as well. So it's like,
okay, so take us through it. So what happens? What pissed you off? And what do you want to do about it?
Okay, let me, for a quick overview. Imagine 7 long seasons. I started this late as well. So I started late, but when it came to like season 7, I was on time. So like season 7, 8, I was waiting for 8 after season 7. For me, people probably disagree. The first 2 seasons for me were like, I had to really push myself to go through it. Even though there's some great scenes in it, but like I had to push myself to go through it. Then season 3 onwards, like it kicked off like, wow, it's like I see the hype about why people like this so much. So then, well, end of season, well, it's gonna be spoilers as well, but you know, this is type episode. So when it gets to season 7, waiting for season 8.
Don't worry about spoilers. It's been out long enough.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't seen it, it's your freaking problem, all right? So,
true. Yeah, so by the time it gets to waiting for season 8, so the end of season 7, like several things have happened.
Yeah.
There's like I think it's a Night King. Can't remember the name off the top of my head. I think it's a Night King.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like a ice demon zombie dude, right?
Yeah, it's a lich, basically.
Yeah, so he can.
He's zombified
people, and
are you talking about the
zombification?
Are you talking about the zombification of the dragon?
Yeah, that. So like that happened. You're like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? It's like,
I love the way he shot it down.
That cracked me up. That cracked me up.
It was so easy.
Yeah, because like, you know, what's the name? Daenerys is acting all bad. Like, yeah, I got 3 dragons. What's he gonna do?
Oh,
bang! It's like my dragon now, bitch. You know, it's like
it was so weird.
Remember
when they were dragging it out of the water?
Oh my days, yeah.
That was horrific.
Yeah, opened its eyes like, oh, you know what I mean? It's like,
do you know what? That was brilliant. I loved. There was moments in that where I thought, because I forgot what they call it. The was it the Night Watch when when you had to repel the well, it was kind of like it was kind of at that. I forgot what they call it. Was it the winters?
Oh, winter's coming. That bit.
Yeah. Where is the place?
Oh, that. Oh, crap. Off the top of my head, I forgot. What are
Yeah.
we talking about? The place they have to hold down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been a while since I watched it, so
Yeah. It's
I know.
been a while for me, but this part definitely sticks in my mind. So like, yeah, okay, let me go back to it real quick. So you got all that. So
Winterfell.
you're waiting in anticipation for season 8 because you got what's the Daenerys gonna do? What's Jon Snow gonna do? Because he had the big reveal that he's got certain not royal blood, but dragon blood in him, and like there's teasers of that and like what's gonna happen
Yeah.
to him. They're hyping up his status, like he's a big hero, he's a big time player.
Hmm.
Um, what's his name? Is it James? He had like a redemption arc. Tyrion,
Hmm.
he's like super smart. You know that the
Cool.
strategist. He was
Tyrion
you know
Lancaster. Yeah.
yeah, he wasn't like he definitely wasn't the strongest like physically,
Oh
but
yeah. He was a
he was
dwarf.
super smart and he could just suss at anything.
Well, he was
Manipulate.
he was
Yeah,
manipulative as well, so he was cunning more than
yeah,
anything.
that's
He
what I
had a
like.
lot of guile.
Yeah, so they had all of that, and in season 8, it's like they just forgot all of it. It's like
Hmm.
he's lecturing people, but then he gets things wrong. It's like, wait, since when does he get things wrong that bad? You know what I mean? He's done it, and it happened several times.
Yeah, I mean
It's like,
the good thing
what?
is I did there was moments of it I did like things like that because that's so human. Is to
Yeah,
kind of be
I get
wrong
it.
and the whole kind of Lancasters kind of background. You kind of find out like that they're kind of flawed people holding on to their lineage or their
Yeah, I get it. But he's quite intelligent, so he shouldn't get things that wrong that often.
hmm,
Like, the previous 7 seasons, he's pretty much spot on for most of whatever he said.
yeah.
Then
So
all of
so
a sudden, it's like it's wrong.
so what parts of Game of Thrones do you think it started to go wrong? What
um,
seasons would you
8. So
just eight got
yeah,
it wrong
8. So
completely?
yeah, because what's her name, Daenerys? She all of a sudden she went into tyrant mode. Just like
Oh yeah, that was
it's like what?
but
They came out of nowhere. It's like what? Hold on, what?
yeah, because I think her rage was unjustified, and when she especially like I don't know if we're jumping too far ahead. I know you're probably going to cover it, but when she was
You know,
burning, King's Landing.
yeah, that's the tyrant part. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
Like stuff like that's happening all of a sudden. But she spent the rest of the time, like before that, like saving people and freeing people, and all of a sudden she
mm,
turns into a tyrant like overnight. It's like how well, hold on, you didn't build this up. You just
yeah.
did it. You know what I mean? It's like what I mean? It's like there's no
Oh, she was burning people alive, man.
yeah. It's just like what? Hold on, where did this come from?
Mm,
Out of nowhere. Just if they built up a bit more, that's a suggestion I have. If they built up properly,
yeah,
like if they did it more in season 7, like they build up, she's kind of losing it a bit, or some sort of groups like messing up judgment, and you see like lapse in judgment, she's doing random like bad things all of a sudden. That would make sense. And what's the name? Jon Snow. He was like the hype. He was like going to be like the hero, and who's going to defeat the who was it? Yeah, who's going to defeat this? I forgot what's the guy's name. The Night King. Who's going to defeat him? And everyone's like, it's going to be Jon Snow because like the way he's hyped up now. He's fighting battles, and it was like he didn't really do that much in the end.
yeah.
He had a couple of fights. He didn't do that much. He did like
Sorry.
a
Who are you
plot
talking
twist.
about?
Jon Snow.
Jon Snow. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, like in the season 8, he didn't do that much. He was there, but like he wasn't as significant as he should be, as I feel, if you know what I mean. And
Mm,
Tyrion like dropped off all of a sudden, like he's like I did say before, he's not like getting things right anymore. Night King died very quickly in a way. Like he's doing stuff, but then he
oh,
got snuffed up quickly. You know what I mean?
yeah. But the way he died as well because of
Yeah,
what was this uh
what's that girl's name?
yeah, I forgot her the assassin.
Yeah, she
Come on,
came out.
dude.
No, well, I get it. That's like she's snuck up on him and stuff. But it's like
Oh, come on. The move he
after all
used to
that,
kill. Yeah. I was going to say the move he used to kind of kill her was just.
yeah,
Mm. And also, like, what did you think? Like, there was bits I just wish they kind of explained a bit more.
yeah. It's
And
just
it was like, for example, the necromancy used on the mountain.
oh yeah.
Like,
Oh wow.
explain what happened there. what could you possibly use that would have caused him to become like that?
That's that's what I don't understand. He's
Because that's
that's
one
what
thing
he's
I
like.
don't get, right? Is this a world full of magic as well? Because that's
There's magic in it, but it's like
but is it like magic, or is it like I don't know, like based on like is it based on alchemy rather than magic? If you
no,
know what I mean.
there's magic as far as I know to do certain things, but it's like I don't think it's like to a level of a like a wide range of magic. Like there's certain
Oh,
things you
okay,
can
gotcha.
do, but it's like, but yeah, it's just certain things are like what's the name? Was it who got
Well,
name king? Bran. Was it Bran? He
what Bran Stark?
yeah, it was him. He got crowned king.
Yeah, I don't even think I don't understand. How did he become king? No one. Look, guys. I'm going to explain to you. I've watched Game of Thrones, but it's been such a long time.
Yeah,
I
same. But
wasn't a strong follower of it in the first place. I kind of just fell into everyone's what do you call hype train about it. And the more I watched it, the less I liked it, and that's my entire experience with it. So,
nah, wait, come on.
my
Before
bro,
season 8, it was
bro, it's all
yeah.
trash. I don't know what you're talking about. It's all
I
trash.
don't know. I can't agree with that
It's all trash.
completely.
All of it.
All of it. If you said season 8, yeah, okay, fair enough.
Bro, the setup was bad. The middle part was bad. The ending was bad.
No,
All
they
of it
built
was
up like a whole political thing and world built and everything, and
but the
all
world
these characters and
the world building made no sense. None of
just
it made sense.
they had their
They
own messed
never
up things each part.
look
You know
okay.
what I mean?
My point is this, right? And
Go on.
like I maybe I should have researched into it a bit more, but you know, for something that you invest that much time in, and if they don't do a good enough job in part of world building, it shouldn't really be a good series. It's like okay, politically, in a
Mhm.
global scale, when you draw out this entire world, right? Why does anyone give a damn about King's Landing? Just find an island, build a seat of power there. You don't need King's Landing. Why?
It's like one of those places that you know what I mean?
Yeah, but like if you look at the real world kind of geopolitics, right? Just say whatever place you built is the most important place in the world. It doesn't need to be King's Landing. Dragons don't exist anymore. Never have. The last one died like centuries ago, right? If you didn't turn it into a thing, it wouldn't have become a thing. Therefore, not an important thing.
But then free show up. You know,
Yeah, but because oh god, I don't want to get into it. But okay, I just the political the politics side of it is just bollocks. Like all of it is posturing.
it's like one of the places that you people have to get. It's like well, I don't want to say what's the equivalent of real war, but it's like your people would fight wars over said place, if you know what I mean. So it's like
Yeah, but that's but like you know the only reason why is because of resources and other things like that, right? And the power it brings behind it, right? It's
yeah,
like the only reason you ever want it is to basically subjugate those people who value it. So it's like saying, right, you valued something uh, more than anything on the world, and if I took that away from you, you would be pretty pissed off. But I could use that as a method to subjugate you under my authority. And that's the point I'm trying to make here is
I get you saying. Well,
if you don't put any power behind it, it can't do anything. So don't bother. That's my point. It's like
I force
because
you
like I
go.
always wondered. I find it a bit weird that the King's Landing place, to where they have the throne, you know that throne's a bit weird as well, man. It's just is literally called Game of Thrones. Is the thrones is just a bunch of swords and skulls and stuff. It's just fun.
It's full of drip. Don't worry about that. It's full
Yeah.
of drip.
Okay. Okay. Anyways, I digress.
Yeah,
Go on.
but
Carry on. Because like,
for King's Landing as well, I think it's in a strategic place as well. Like if I remember right, it's like a certain place where like everything flows through, like trade and money, and you have access to all sorts of places from one place. If I remember it,
look, if it had like some sort of
that was
valuable
interesting.
ore that my society relied on, then yeah, I'll take it. I understand why it's valuable, but they never kind of put that premise behind it. So, anyways, go on, go on.
Yes, yeah. So like it's just stuff like that. It just
Okay.
yeah, the whole descent to madness, the
So
whole
how did it go down for those don't know? How did it go down?
what the ending like
Yeah, yeah.
basically the madness happened. Um,
What's the madness? Sorry.
the madness is when Daenerys is just burning everyone and just like no longer caring about people, just
So
just murdering everyone. You know what I mean?
let's get this into let's frame this properly. So towards the end of the season, it's the kind of final showdown, isn't it? Between
Yep.
was it was it Cersei Lannister and was it Cersei and it's Cersei Lannister versus pretty much the Jon Snow
Yeah,
Daenerys
Jon Snow.
alliance.
Yeah,
And it's all coming to a head now as you know, Daenerys has built up quite a formidable army to challenge the Lannister seat of power. I think who's on the throne at the moment? It's that annoying kid's dead, isn't he? He got poisoned.
yeah, he died ages ago.
Yeah,
I thought he was a great character, but
I feel sorry for the actor who played him because like
I know it.
he did such a convincing job that you're probably going to be hated for the rest of your life because people are going to associate you to that role.
He deserves an Oscar. I'm saying it like that. He deserves an Oscar or something.
Yeah, because I hated that little prick and I didn't even know
Yeah,
him.
same. It's like if he can do that, you deserve it. You know
that's
what I mean?
though. But you're going to be typecast like that for forever. You're going to have like random people throwing milkshakes at you for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? Yes. Do you know what though? That's the kind of hate.
That's correct. That's correct.
I've got to say that's you know what? That's commitment. That's commitment. Yeah. But anyways, right? So it all comes to a head, doesn't it? So they built up a formidable army, and I'm guessing they pushed back Cersei's forces all the way back to King's Landing, right?
Yep, they kill her as well.
Not yet. Not yet. Let's just build it up. No, not yet. We're building up what the way it was kind of played out. So pretty much, because I'm trying to remember what led us to season 8, and season 8 was this, right? So everything was accumulating to that. They tried to have that kind of uneasy truce, to warn her about obviously the Night King and his advancing forces and his ability to zombify, and they showed them the carcass of one of the soldiers. Anyways, right after that's it. What's her name? The assassin Stark. That was kind of hyped up. Yeah. Anyways, right? Whatever she did was ridiculous. All it took was this. Imagine I had a dagger here, and I had my other hand.
It's Arya.
That's it. But all she did was this. There you go. Problem solved. That's it. She literally, all she did to stop the Night King was drop the hand her dagger was in to another hand and juke him. Is that right? Did I use that word right?
You did.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. There we go. See, and that's all it took to kill the Night King was a dagger. Was it a special dagger? Was it a special dagger?
I just a normal dagger, I think.
Oh, fuck off. You can fuck off.
I think you have to hit him in a certain place or whatever.
All right, so she took out the Night King. So the guy that's been hyped up for 8 seasons,
yeah, Jon Snow,
as this in threat that you even go to your worst enemies to hype, you killed off in one night. Let me put that in perspective for you. 8 seasons, and you killed him off in one night.
Think about this as well. He was trying to reach the Night King as well. He got stuck somewhere. He couldn't even get to him.
Yeah,
he was running from. Was it the dragon? It was like he's there. He's stuck. He can't. He's acting like a little biatch as well. Not gonna lie. He's just like, I'm stuck. I can't do nothing.
See, I think this is why it ran out, because you killed the Night King off so easily, right? Then you have to go after Cersei, and then that's what led us to the final kind of moment in King's Landing. And I think that was just Daenerys gone mad and burning everyone for no reason. Like Jamie Lannister was the weird one.
Yeah.
It's like he kind of, what did he do? He went back to Cersei, didn't he?
He had like a whole arc. He did nothing in season 8.
But he did like years of redemption though, because like remember after like he kind of was, I don't know if he was abandoned, but when all I know is he was traveling with Jon Snow's crew and Daenerys's crew for a while, and he was like helping them deal with the threat.
Yeah, he had like a whole. That's what I mean. They had the whole redemption arc in season 8. They forgot about it in a way. Just like
ran back to Cersei, and then
like,
he dies.
What?
Then he got killed. How did he die again?
I don't remember. I think did he get crushed by bricks? Was it that time? Was it that?
Yeah.
I remember. I know a lot of people got crushed by bricks and stuff. So,
but
the whole attack on the capital.
Yeah, I think what it was like it was like they wanted to wrap it up quickly, and it was lazy. Yeah. What's your biggest egregious points about it, and what would you have done to improve it?
It made the madness of Daenerys will quickly happen like, overnight. The way, probably the way Cersei died, like in the last season, she didn't even do. She was just standing there. She didn't even do much. If you know what I mean, she was watching stuff.
Yeah.
Like she didn't really take part.
Oh yeah, because her kid
I
was
mean,
running.
like,
Her kid was running the show.
yeah, but it's like, but I think I can't remember if this is right. She got paid quite a lot per episode for her appearance, and she did nothing. So like, she had like one line or something like that in like the whole last season,
So damn.
which was crazy. Something like that. It was something I can't remember the exact thing, but it's something crazy like that. Like she barely acted, but she got paid a lot for it,
Hmm.
which is like tribute to what she done for her character, the way she acted it.
Fair play, man. Fair
But
play.
like, yeah, just the way.
But we all have to
Probably,
get the actress probably thought cha-ching, right?
yeah,
What a
yeah.
way to get a check is to do fuck all for an episode.
It's yeah. So like, rewrite it. I would say you have to change like outcomes slightly, if that makes sense, and build up the Daenerys madness better. Probably start in season 7. So if you're still doing the short season 8, at least
Hmm.
build up so like there's some sort of,
Justification for it.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's some sort of reason. Like you can see something slowly
What
happening,
would
not
you
just
want
it
the
happen
pay?
overnight.
What would you want the payoff to be?
Like a more satisfying ending. Like, oh, this
What
happened.
would you think is satisfying? What would scratch the itch for you?
Let's scratch the itch.
Yeah. How would you like to see it go down?
I don't like the action was good. I'd like to see the attack. The way they beat the Night King, I'd like to see a better outcome, if that makes sense. Like instead of like she somehow snuck up to him and soloed him, maybe like give a bit more of a drawn out battle. Like maybe she snuck up on him. He stopped her from killing him, but then someone else interfered as well. Maybe get Jon Snow there.
What happens to
And
the
like,
dragons at the end of it?
oh, they killed it.
They could no. Do all the
No,
dragons
because
die?
Thingy died. Because Thingy died. The Night King died, so everyone else dies.
No, no,
So
no,
that
no,
stopped.
no. Not the
Is that?
zombie dragons, but dragons overall in that world. What happened to them?
Oh, didn't they get murdered?
All
I
of
think
them
they got.
died.
I think they got sniped down. I can't remember.
Oh,
I swear they got.
uh,
Did they die? I swear they got.
I'll go and
So I
find
think
out
they had
now.
like not trebuchets or catapults or something.
Oh, only one of them survives. Drogon.
Oh yeah, because they carried the body away in it. After Thingy dies,
Yeah,
they
that's
killed off Daenerys as well.
what's
I'd rather they kept her alive and like just like maybe capture her and be like, look, like what happened? Like you gotta atone for your sins now. Like you show her fall from
hmm,
like power to that, if that makes sense. But they'll probably have to battle the dragon, then they have to stop the dragon. Something like some sort of thing
yeah.
instead of just oh yeah, she's dead and they carry it off.
Oh,
Like
what
more of a
what
need
what
more of a
what,
complete
what
ending.
when you watch Game of Thrones, when you first looked at it and you saw, great, all right, it's got this world building kind of cool political system, it's got a world full of
Yeah.
dragons and all of it. What was it that drew you into Game of Thrones?
I think it was the plot twist, the way they talk to each other, the way they had to interact with each other, the way they plotted against each
Oh, dude, the
other.
only I'll tell you why I watched it.
Go on.
Dragons.
I
I'm not
think you
gonna
said the
lie.
hype or
No,
something.
no, no, bro. It was dragons. Like it was the hype as well. Everyone's getting on it. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
awesome! Like these dragons are so cool. You got names like Drogon and was it was it? I got it in my notes here.
Is it Visceron or something like that?
Yeah, Visceron and Rygel, and like
Yeah.
there was when I was reading the lore into it, they were talking about the past dragons, dude. These dragons are tiny baby kind of little dragons. The
Yeah.
previous king had a dragon so big it blacked out the skies. What was the largest dragon? I think it was called Balfarion or something like that. What
And that's a
was
name as well.
the largest? Yeah, because when I watched it, that's the only thing I cared about was the dragons. And the one thing that really annoyed me was we didn't learn anything about them. We didn't learn the relationship between the dragons and the throne. Why the throne room or hallway is littered with dragon skulls.
Yeah. I would like to know a bit more about how did the bloodlines. It may have been explained, but I don't remember it being explained how the bloodline of Daenerys's
Yeah.
bloodline can interact and control dragons. That wasn't really
Yeah,
shown.
Balerion, the Black Dread, biggest dragon.
That's a cool name though. Yeah, but I'd like to see how that whole thing came up. How did they share the blood? Was it some sort of like
Um,
some sort of long lost pact? Or was it like some sort of
I like to think it was kind of like a dragoon thing. So like in Final Fantasy 14,
yeah
like where you had the dragoons and they had that kind of weird pact where humans lived in
yeah
peace back in the day, and then you had the dragoons that had to kind of repel them off. But no, not Final Fantasy 14. So Final Fantasy 11, where they had the kind of synergy with dragons.
yeah that would make sense though. But
Well,
I
yeah,
didn't really I think it's explained it all. So
yeah. I was gonna say like that's the thing I cared about, and I wish they kind of explained more of it. And the way I would have rewritten it, right, is I would have rewritten it all. I wouldn't go with that
all
ending.
of it.
Well, yeah, because look, if you're hyping the Night King, right, this lich who can kind of summon the dead, you would actually make that the center point, right? The political side of it was cool, but don't kill him off in one night. Why can't you say, okay, they weaponized him? You know what I mean? Like there
I
was
mean, like capture him or like
well, not only that is like Cersei could have used them to weaken Daenerys's and Jon Snow's forces for them to
you know what?
auto wave. Like you could have
That'd be interesting. Yeah, I get what you say.
you could have done so much more with it. There's so much kind of manga and anime that are so like kind of have those kind of themes where
Mhm.
they've taken like a very similar setting like Game of Thrones, but they've improved it by using kind of tactical thinking behind the kind of cloak and daggers and for the seat of power, right?
Yeah,
Because you can have that. You can have these different families arguing over the throne after the death of king or vying for the seat of power. That's perfectly good. But then use the enemies that you have today to kind of weaken the positions of others. So, like, use what you have in front of you and be more malicious and more kind of cunning. Use more cunning to do stuff against the enemy. Because I reckon I would have done it like this. So, I would have diverted Jon Snow's attention and said, okay, we'll join forces, we'll take down the Night King or whatever you want to call him. I'll call him a lich because that's the way I see him. But yeah, you want to take him down. Okay,
yeah,
great. Let's gather our forces and meet one to one, and meet him head on. I would then pull back my forces, leaving Jon Snow's forces to be cannon fodder. His armies will be weakened by then, right? Then you can centralize you can neutralize any sort of assault later on down the line because their armies would have been decimated, hopefully taking out a majority of the Night King's army as well, slowing his advance,
mhm.
therefore kind of repositioning yourself into a better kind of scenario to kind of withstand them. So like you could have done something so much better than that, and then build up season 8 to have like a dual threat rather than like this kind of we're dealt with the Night King, on to King's Landing, let's deal with Cersei's and you know all
That's an
that
interesting
jazz,
take.
and then also give a justification during that because of the losses that could have been enough to trigger not Daenerys's rage because she felt that betrayed
Yeah,
because she was left to die at the hands of the Night King. She'd lost her dragon, right? Their armies have been decimated, and then she goes on this kind of blood-fueled rage with the dragons.
yeah.
That could have been.
That'd be interesting. That'd be interesting.
I
Like
just think
using a yeah,
I
yeah.
just
That'd
think,
be
and then what you can do is then the Lich King can die as part of this kind of weird three-way kind of war that breaks out,
yeah. That could work.
and
That definitely could work.
also use some of the time to explain what the how do dragons kind of coexist and how they existed and why they
Yeah,
disappeared and like give a deeper meaning into it. Like for example, right? They knew of the white what's it called, the White Walkers or whatever they're called,
yeah,
right? They knew of them, right? So there's a history somewhere that explains about them. In the series, surface that up. So, like, the audience are not stupid, right? They don't need a detailed explanation, but give them the justification of why that threat exists.
Yeah, that would make sense. Explain more
Yeah,
overall, but
because they've already kind of explained the mechanic that fallen soldiers can be reincarnated. Therefore, you know, the whatever the Lich King. I'm going to call it Lich King now.
yeah,
LK.
literally,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, I'm playing World of Warcraft in my head, and basically he can basically his army grows as he takes more land. His army grows because the fallen
Mhm.
soldiers are converted. He's like the Borg, like an ancient version of the Borg,
Yeah,
right, from Star Trek. So obviously there's justification there then to take him out early, right? Because the more you delay it, the worse it gets, just as is. So yeah, I mean, that's the way I would have done it. I mean, what would you done something in similar fashion? What would you have liked to see with it?
well, I'll definitely change how the endings come out. Like, let's see, let me think. Let's say, John's arc. Let's put it like that. It just he basically somehow shows he's a Targaryen. The Targaryen? It shows he's a Targaryen. So like he did that, but I'd have written it as like maybe instead of choosing power and stuff like that, maybe he chooses peace instead, if you know what I mean. And like, is it, you know what? I'll keep my honor, keep peace.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't
look,
want power. Let me
that could
just
have worked. That
let's
could have
just
worked.
you know what I mean. I'll just go about my own way.
Yeah.
Um,
Would you have
what's it?
kept it? Would you kept it open ended, or would you have concluded it?
Well, the audience say I'd have concluded it in a way, but like not as many deaths. So things could happen if, say, for some reason we'll do like an extra series or something.
Yeah.
So it'd be like a bittersweet ending instead of just like
Yeah.
like instead of like, oh, it's just a definite, it's done, there's nothing left
No,
type of
I
thing.
totally agree. I think leaving it
Like,
open is a smart move.
yeah,
Also,
it gets engagement going as well. Like people will talk about like, what's this? Is this like the what's it? The Iron Throne. The whole symbol of it is like
hmm,
it's the Iron Throne. Everyone's fighting for it. And was it that dragon just randomly melted it or something like that?
yeah.
Instead of like that, maybe like have like whatever the dragon does. Let's say the throne is still there,
Yeah.
and say people saw the throne by like, you know what? We'll vote on this, destroy the throne, the actual throne, and like we'll create like some sort of republic or democracy, something like
Yeah.
that,
Something more
something like that.
democratic. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like it's just like a whole symbol of
Yeah.
maybe progress of the whole land altogether instead of
Yeah.
just
Basically, you're
you know
moving
what I mean?
away from the monarchy
Yeah,
kind of model. Yeah. Okay.
and that can also set up more more stories if that's the case as well, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, they could have done. They can still do so much with it. I mean,
Yeah,
they can, but it's just sad that they wrapped it up in such a poor way.
yeah,
It felt like it was more kind of visual effects over story.
yeah, and Tyrion as well. Like, I'd have gave him like a more give him better lines, better writing. Like he eventually comes out. Let's say he comes out on top in a way with that where his wit and normal ways like he's witty and stuff like this. Somehow that pays off in a way.
Hmm.
Like okay, he saw the long. It's like he saw the bigger picture. Okay, got some things wrong. He saw the bigger picture, but no, he was right in the end in a way. If you know what I mean?
Also, they should have given more weight between like when when you said John had to kill Daenerys, they maybe could have put more weight in that kind of decision making.
Mm.
Did you feel like it was?
Yeah.
Do you reckon that was kind of
I think he got underwhelming ending, if that makes sense, John,
yeah.
because he got hyped up so much, he just like fell off. Like even though he was there, he killed it, but it's like maybe I don't know, maybe he could have instead of like killing her, maybe arrest her, hold her
I
in contempt or whatever they call it.
hmm. All right, I'm just a
Something like
bit.
that. Then
I'm a bit cognizant of time because we can go down the rabbit hole with these.
okay,
And I mean, aside from that, was there anything you wanted to add to your point?
That's it.
I think,
We'll wrap up on this bit.
yeah, because I was going to say,
Yeah,
because like
we're
we
going
could,
quite deep in this one.
yeah. All right, so moving on to the next one, right?
Yeah,
I want to pick this one because this one's been
Go on.
doing my head in for the last.
Go on. Gotta hear this.
It's been doing my head in for the last couple of. Well, no, for the last 10 years, it's been doing my head in.
And
Yeah, I think it's been that long. 10 years, probably more than that. 15 years, 20, 20.
ooh,
Right, when was it filmed? Wait, it was 25, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's
wait,
about,
let's say what it is.
okay, sorry. All right, yeah. Star Trek Voyager.
Oh my, okay.
Voyager. The ending to Voyager was absolute rubbish. It was lazy writing, quick exit, ruins the lore, goes against its kind of core philosophy. Everything about it was awful, just awful. And that last season was freaking horrendous. So those are not aware what Star Trek Voyager is. So Star Trek Voyager is a Star Trek series, of course, but obviously not with your kind of traditional crew of the USS Enterprise. So it starts off with the starship who are chasing a bunch of rebels called the Marquis across into the Badlands. And the ship is then flung 40,000 light years away from its origin, which is the Alpha Quadrant, all the way into the Delta Quadrant. And for those who are asking, well, simply, why can't they engage their warp drives and get back? It will take them, was it 100 years or like 300 years? It will take them a very long time, to get them back home and traverse. And they do not have the capabilities of returning. Anyways, right, the entire series follows the crew of the Starship Voyager, who starts off a bit rough because I think of every first season of any Trek series, they go through a massive amount of rewriting in terms of establishing their characters. But you have the first female captain, Captain Janeway, then you have Commander Chakotay, Lieutenant Tuvok, Ensign Harry Kim, Lieutenant Commander Tom Paris, Lieutenant B'Elanna Torres, you got Neelix, you got the EMH Doctor, who's like a holographic doctor, and then eventually you got some new additions like 7 and 9 to the crew, who's a former Borg. Anyways, right, as Voyager goes through the Delta Quadrant, they have it's against your kind of traditional Star Trek series, because I think there was more kind of gravity to some of their choices, because they don't have the resources of the Federation, they don't have an alliance, they're a lone starship which is more technologically advanced than most of the civilizations they encounter in the Delta Quadrant. And as they get closer and closer towards home, they pick up some wins, some moral dilemmas. Some of the episodes are really, really good. Some of the story writing has been its strongest in Star Trek Voyager. But then it does then it goes through what every show goes through, a ratings drop. And that's when they have to start switching things up. And towards the latter half of the series, they introduce a new character called 7 and 9, which is great. I've got no qualms against that. I think she's a really good character to introduce. But it then turns into basically a ratings war. And this is what really annoys me, is the fact, in order to increase ratings, they wanted to introduce an exciting enemy. And rather than developing a new enemy, they regurgitate the same enemy like they do in Star Trek, that gave Star Trek Next Generation its big kind of push. And that's the Borg. And the Borg is supposed to be the end all and be all of pretty much the pinnacle of apex predator in the Star Trek universe. It is basically, the Borg are like these kind of machine zombies who absorb other cultures, add them to their own, adapt to their technology. So imagine you create, this super torpedo that can kill things. After a few hits from that, it can adapt, develop shielding, absorb that knowledge. So if one of your scientists get captured, they'll learn everything about it, create a defense, and then assimilate pretty much everything you have into their collection, and they grow and grow and grow. And that's what makes the Borg a terrifying threat.
Yeah, like super zombies, basically.
Yeah. So the issue with the Borg started off with the Star Trek movies. So I would say TNG, actually. Maybe TNG. Okay, there's one episode. There's a two-parter in TNG. When I say TNG, that's the Next Generation. That's when you had the original Star Trek. I'm not going to say the original. Sorry, Captain Picard and that era of Star Trek, where the Borg can become kind of human, or they can. So the Borg are kind of like this hive-minded species as well. So that's an important thing to add. And they are all interconnected. They all think with one voice. So think about like a hive mind. So you know how we have our individuality right now? Like I think for myself, you think for yourself. Collectively, we work together and work out a solution. They don't do any of that. They all just think as one. And that's why when you get simulated by them, you lose your individuality. And that's what that's what's the morally degrading thing about it is. It's like, if you should watch out, for those who are interested about the Borg, just watch that one episode when Picard goes back to his family, and you can hear the emotion in him when he said he was taken over by the Borg and he had to witness the horrors that he had to kind of act.
That was crazy.
That was heartbreaking. And you could really feel Patrick Stewart's conviction of how he delivered that. Anyways, right, brilliant acting, right, great story setup, and it shows you how unrelentingly evil the idea of the Borg are, right? So why does this go? Why does Voyager kind of ruin this? And it's because this enemy that's been built up, and we've seen them in movies, right? It's been built up to be the most ultimate threat, is basically resolved by one lonely starship that's nothing special about it, that cripples an entire civilization that stretches God knows how long. And they had the audacity to also make moral decisions in a quadrant that had nothing to do with them. And that's the thing. It's like Star Trek Voyager ruined the Borg by introducing another species that the Borg had trouble fighting. But they go, okay, because I can imagine how this played out in a boardroom as well, right? So they're thinking, oh yeah, Star Trek Voyager's ratings are down. What should we do? What should we do? Maybe we need to bring the Borg back. Nah, that's been done to death. Get that shit out of it. Maybe the Borg picked a fight with someone they can't beat. Liking that. What's next? They're not part of the Delta. Oh, yeah, they're from a different dimension, fluidic space. Okay, liking it. What are they? If they're not technologically advanced, what are they? They're bioengineers. Oh, okay, love that even more. And guess what? One ship can blow up an entire planet. Love it. All right. So what does Voyager? So what? How does this impact our guys? Our guys can just beat them all. That's what they've done. They did that. They
I remember that episode. Yeah.
They literally, right, simplified the Borg to the point, right, where they became the biggest non-threat in the entire Delta Quadrant. Do you know how they did that? They basically got some sort of plot armor that says, okay, let's break it down right from the beginning of why that last season of Voyager was bad. Because you can see they ruined the plot. The ratings went down so bad, I think they had to conclude it. I don't think there was any appetite to continue Star Trek.
It's a brush ending for sure.
Well, yeah, the ending is trash. So let's just go through the sequence of events and I'll pick out the faults of where it went wrong. So they were introduced to the Borg. They fought another species, 8472. The Borg were getting decimated. And this species came into the Delta Quadrant wanting to purge life everywhere because they were attacked first. Seeing that the normal space that the Star Trek people exist in cannot exist because it's an existential threat to them and they know where fluidic space is. So they just go on this tangent and they start destroying pretty much every Borg with one hit. We're talking about one little ship could just fire a beam and destroy a massive capital ship full of thousands of Borg drones.
Yep.
By the way, Voyager tanked a shot, by the way, of that beam, and I want to get into why that is so broken. Because there's one scene, right? They got hit by the beam, the ship kind of flipped over and just walked out. I was like what? Anyways, right? No, right. So so Voyager develops plot armor, defeats 8472, And then tries to have an alliance with the Borg, takes one of their drones, converts it to one of their crew, and then they meet. Then they carry on through Borg space, avoiding Borg, and then another plot armor moment happens where they meet an older future Kess, who then just kind of uses her last bit of power to throw Voyager in past Borg space. And then, because there was nothing new for them to do, they quickly reintroduce future Captain Janeway to go back in the past to take Voyager to a transwarp conduit hub, right?
Oh, yeah,
that
that's it.
could
Yeah.
magically take them all the way back to Earth using Borg. So transwarp conduit hub is this Borg kind of a hub where they can put cubes in and it can send them anywhere in the universe.
Yep.
Like a magic space doorway that's so conveniently hidden. So future Captain Janeway comes back, right? By the way, it goes against the whole temporal directive, right?
Oh, yeah,
It's a whole temporal prime directive. And for those who are wondering, what is the prime directive? Prime directive is a set of rules that you can't violate in order to preserve history. And the temporal time directive is just basically a time version of those. So you can't go back in time and change things, right? You have to preserve the timeline. Anyways, right? They go. So future Captain Janeway doesn't like the fact that Tuvok is going to have some sort of mental disease. So he needs to go back into the future, all because of Tuvok and the fact they lost some of their crew members on the long journey home. She decides, I'm going to break all the rules and drag the ship back. Right? So she goes all the way back using, get this, a Klingon time machine with armor that can tank her shuttle tanked a Negvar class cruiser. Right? That's insane. We're talking about capital ships here, and a little shuttle was tanking it. Right? Anyways, right? She goes all the way back into the past. She then she equips Voyager with futuristic shielding technology. Remember the whole armor mode where it goes duk 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 duk.
Tell them how they implemented the armor.
What do you mean?
Did they use like some sort of holographic something or other to put the armor on?
Oh yeah.
It wasn't like they fitted it on. It was just like they used some holographic thing and they just
no.
you know,
It basically it was part of the tech. It was part of the tech. So it was kind of weird because, like, you're right. It's not your shields. Anyways, right. And then they gave him like, plot armor torpedoes that can destroy a Borg cube in one hit. Transphasic torpedoes. And what they did was they kitted out Voyager and they were about to go to the central hub to go home. And in the space of 2 episodes, there was the moral dilemma, the downfall of the Borg, right? And then there was Voyager getting home. All in that one season. In the last 3 episodes, Voyager got home.
Yeah,
because the way it happened was this. Future Janeway says, all right, here's the weapons, here's the armor, go through that nexus. And Captain Janeway goes, no, we can't go through that nexus because it's a hub, we should destroy it, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, right? The plan is this. Future Janeway lets herself get assimilated by the Borg to infect them with a pathogen to bring down the entire neural network. So not only did they created a bioweapon to wipe out an entire species, by the way, right? Doesn't matter, right? When you do that, that's kind of genocidal kind of territory here. Because as evil as the Borg are, you can't just wipe out a whole freaking portion of them like that, right? It's insane. So they did that. They crippled the Queen, and then Voyager goes through the torpedo tunnel, fires their transphasic torpedoes, which brings down the shielding on the hub because the Queen's now infected, and destroys it. It gets absorbed by a Borg sphere. They had this tense moment of, because they did this ambiguous thing where a transwarp rift is opening up near Earth, right?
Yeah.
And then, and then it cuts to a scene to Janeway on the bridge saying, do we end up where we need to end up? Everyone's being ambiguous where they were supposed to end up because, we're exactly where we need to be. And then you see the sphere merge from it and you're like, oh, okay, fair enough. They didn't end up home. They probably got out somewhere, and then they fire a transphasic torpedo, and the sphere explodes, and Voyager goes out with its armor ablaze. That's how it ends, and they end up at Earth. That's how it ends. They ended it in 2 episodes.
Hold on, I'm just thinking about the genocide thing, right? Didn't was it Picard when they had the chance to do the same thing against the Borg? He said no.
Yeah. And when
Yeah, so like,
basically, they were going to affect the
oh
Borg
man,
with an impossible problem to solve. So what it was is they'll put something. So there was a Borg called Hugh that they rescued, and effectively they turned him into an individual. The original plan was to infect Hugh with a impossible puzzle, and they were going to put it in his kind of cortical node, which is that thing he has over his eye, and they think it would have short-circuited the Borg completely. And at the time, no one really knew how big the Borg were, like in terms of a species, like how wide and far they went. But okay, so why was it a terrible ending? There's multiple reasons. I think I made it clear. So effectively, you took the worst enemy,
what?
right,
Yeah,
in the Delta Quadrant, and you basically turned them into wusses. You simplified their entire problem, and the whole point of that was they were supposed to be an external threat that couldn't be dealt with, and now you've basically ruined them. One ship by itself managed to kind of do that much damage to an entire species is ridiculous, right? You've ruined the Borg. You've made them look weak. What else was there? The whole nano Borg technology. So the Borg assimilate people through this thing called nanoprobes, and these nanoprobes go into your blood system, and then it will sprout out technology and turn you into a drone and wire you up to the hive. And the way Voyager just could produce their own amount of nanoprobes with their own programming was insane. They somehow were able to counter the Borg using Borg technology, which was like, I'm pretty sure the top scientists at the Federation couldn't even do, but this lone starship managed to figure all this out. On top of that, right, they use Borg nanoprobes to then wipe out, basically repel species 8472 back to fluidic space. Handed that technology over to the Borg. Do you think the Borg would have stopped at they would have used it to go full of war with species 8472? So we never see what happens off camera. They basically then destroyed the entire Borg collective by themselves, right? Showing how easy it was. And it was ridiculously easy. They violated their own rules by bringing technology back from the future to quit Voyager with, violating the temporal prime directive. At no point was there like Captain Maxwell coming back to that point and saying, oh, Janeway, you can't do that. We're going to take you back. Where was the temporal prime directive, or where was the temporal soldiers or the Federation at that time to stop that from happening? Never does. Never is explained. Then all that future tech you've now just exposed the Borg to. So they're going to start working out now what that was.
Isn't that reason that they crippled them to the point that they can't do nothing?
Problem is, we don't know what happened to the Borg after that. You crippled them to the point, but the problem is, though, like, what if there is even a way to adapt against the pathogen? We don't know that, right? But also you've just exposed the fact that Earth had access now to future tech. So if I was the Borg and I was able to recover, my first priority is go to Earth and grab that future tech. I'm just saying, they know it exists. It was clearly there.
They do, but it's like, could they also fight against it?
Oh, and they assimilated Admiral Janeway, the future Admiral Janeway. Imagine what they could have learned from her. That's insane, right?
Yeah, that's true. Actually,
they never explained any of it. It's just it was such a way to.
That's a big plot. Yeah, that's a big plot hole right there.
Okay, and the reason why I find it more egregious than anything that I know I keep using that word, but anything Star Trek's ever done is because you just shat on the entire history of the Borg that's been built up through several series in one go. you basically ruined it. You ruined it. Because there's no way of coming back from it. Like you basically ruined an entire species that's been set up since the TNG days.
And TNG struggled against them.
Dude, TNG.
Even they beat them, they struggled. They weren't like easy.
Remember the Battle of
It
Wolf
took a lot of
359?
sacrifices.
No,
It took a lot of sacrifices to beat one.
Battle for Wolf 359, First Contact, all of those movies, right? The Borg was a serious threat. You could not take them out. And then you got obviously this, Voyager and what Voyager did. I think they just ruined the entire thing. And by the way, no one's explained this to me yet. So the Borg always had the ability to go to Earth, did they?
That's what I mean. If they had
that temple doorway, look, I haven't looked into it too heavily, but that temple doorway, when it opened, was right on the doorstep of Earth. So you're telling me at any point you could have sent 7 cubes straight to Sol and just dealt with the Federation there and then?
Apparently so, but I guess they let's not do that.
That's what I mean. That's why it's so badly written. It was so rushed. I hated it. I absolutely detested that the ending or the last season. Also, what else was there? Did that? I think it was just fatigue, laziness, nonsense. They go against their own rules. They ruined the law. I think they introduced now a concept that can't be undone. I don't know what else to complain about, because it was just awful. I thought Voyager was a brilliant show. I was so hooked on Voyager. I loved it. It's just that last season ruined it.
Yeah, and
it should never have went down like that.
The thing is about the Borg as well. You know the species at 8472.
Yeah.
How scary were they? Because the Borg are like, they're the biggest threat.
Oh god, yeah.
One ship took out like 3 cubes, and like Voyager, like, what the hell?
And that goes back to my earlier point, right? That one ship could fire a beam and destroy a cube in one hit. Voyager took a shot from it and just warped out. Like, how? Like, nothing says plot armor more than that bloody moment in that show.
They didn't clip. It was like a direct hit on the ship, wasn't it?
It was a direct hit. I think it wasn't a clip. But it proves one thing, right? The importance of shields.
Yeah, true.
the Borg should just have shields, have energy deflectors or whatever. But aside from that, what was it? I just think it was awful. If I was to rewrite it, so the way I would start it is okay, so where will I start it? Okay, so let's just say hypothetically you've already introduced the Borg in season 7, and that could have been done with the drones that they discovered on that planet, right? You realize you're reaching the kind of cusp of Borg space. All right, I understand why species 8472 was introduced, right? Was introduced 7 and 9 character, but you could have introduced her in a better way. You could still have species 8472, right? But you do not need to do the Worf effect to kind of promote species 8472. You know what I mean by the Worf effect. We already spoke about this before. But the Worf effect, for anyone that doesn't know, is whenever you have a bigger, badder villain on the scene, you basically throw Worf at them to get his ass kicked. So it sets the scene of how good the other person is. If you watch Star Trek Next Generation, see how many times Worf is thrown to the floor after an intruder on the bridge moment. As soon as there's an intruder on the bridge, Worf go deal with her. Bam, Worf hits the floor. It's like,
oh damn.
Yeah. So the Worf effect
is like,
yeah. So the Worf effect in this instance is basically the Borg getting their ass kicked.
Out of all the things, what Borg?
Yeah, and look, no, but I can understand why. If you're wanting a Borg character like 7 and 9, right?
Yeah.
You could still introduce her, right? But the problem was they didn't have to do it the way they did it, and that's my entire thing at it was how they simplified the Borg to be this problem that could be solved very easily, and that was to kind of reverse engineer these nanos, these what do you call it? Nanites or whatever, yeah. So like that's my entire kind of scenario about it was from that first encounter of okay, great, you got that cool action scene, the Borg are getting beaten, all right, great. But then to kind of cripple them through pathogens and this uh, through the simulation of future tech and all this other
Hmm.
stuff, right? You didn't have to do any of that. You didn't have to weaken the Borg to the point of where, like, remember that episode where I forgot what his name was, but they discovered an experimental starship called the Dauntless, and the Dauntless had transwarp. No, was it transwarp? It had a level of warp that could tunnel through space, which was faster than conventional warp. Slipstream,
Is that the one that
slipstream.
messed them up?
It was it was Slipstream
No,
tech.
I wouldn't.
No,
Yeah.
Slipstream. And it was done by a species who basically tried to capture the Voyager crew and send them back to Borg space to Arturus. Yeah, his name was Arturus. Yes, that's it. It's all coming back now. So Arturus was basically a survivor of a species that were betting on 8472 to win. So his homeworld wasn't assimilated by the Borg.
Hmm.
And then Voyager came in, decided to make policy in the Delta Quadrant and eradicate 8472 as the threat. And then worlds like his were conquered. Just think about it from his perspective, right? Like you've always your race or your culture has always been one step ahead of the Borg, right? Because of the advanced technologies that you hold. But
Yeah.
over time, the Borg adapt, and eventually they were slowly chipping away at them. Then 8472 shows up, and the Borg's attention's diverted. They had some breathing room. They had ways to kind of survive now. But
Hmm.
then you see this dinky little starship from the middle of nowhere appear and swing the entire tide of the war. The Borg are now resource hungry. They need to rebuild their empire, right? They push 8472 back, but now they're coming after Arturus's people. They want that tech, right? And
Yep.
now all of a sudden they're surrounding your homeworld. The capital ships are thrown to the side like they were nothing, right? People are now being assimilated. He grabs what remaining few people he had and just escapes on his starship like a coward, right? And all he remembers is Voyager let the Borg win in order, and that led to the assimilation of his homeworld. And that is the last piece of news he heard from his homeworld, that 8472 was defeated and now the Borg are hungry.
That is crazy.
And one starship,
Yeah.
and when you hear stories like that, you think, oh man, like maybe like, and like Janeway's justification. I know we've gone off topic here, but Janeway's justification for it was just so bad. It was just so bad. She goes,
What was it again?
she needed to make a snap decision, and at that time 8472 was the biggest threat. And in my head I was like, who the hell are you to make that determination?
That is true. I think
Anyways,
you're
right.
not supposed to change policies. You know what I mean? The prime directive. You're not supposed
No,
to
no,
like.
but I think she had a moral duty to do what's the best interest for the
Oh,
quadrant
okay.
because there was dire stakes. But anyways, right, I digress. Um, all right, so that's my entire issue with that entire season is because they ruined a long enemy. They simplified their journey home. They rushed it. They ruined the lore, and it has now implication for future seasons. They don't explain. They go against their kind of their own rules and the
Yeah.
philosophies. Where was the temporal directive in any of this? You've now given a greatest adversary a access to knowledge. Like also, hmm.
But
So there's an assimilated Janeway, Admiral Janeway. That's a freaking good question. Did they tidy that up? So when they got home, what happened to Admiral Janeway?
future one.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's a drone now, isn't she?
but like, was the connection severed as well, or because of the whole thing they did with the collective? They messed up the ball creek, didn't they? So like, I'm not sure I did something.
Okay, wait. Oh wait, okay. Unimatrix Zero explodes. Okay, they're saying that she dies. She doesn't survive the simulation or the explosion. We don't know that though. We don't know that.
Because I remember the connection was severed for some reason.
Actually, that's
Was it
absolute.
from the
No. We know. No, this is absolute bollocks. She does the Borg. If the Borg Queen survives in season 3 Picard, which is abundantly clear, the Borg Queen survives. Actually, in Picard season, yeah, the Borg Queen survives in Picard season 2,
yeah, because she was running around and yeah.
and then yeah. Anyways, regardless, the Borg survive, right? And they got now future tech. It just all is rubbish. And it don't and they ruined the Borg, they've ruined the future canons. They never really kind of go into the detail of it. They never really show how the technology kind of helps the Federation. And by the way, they've introduced now transphasic torpedoes and this stupid armor to the Federation. You bring that home, it's going to destabilize the entire Alpha Quadrant.
Are they the superpower then at that point? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it destabilizes. It destabilizes the entire Alpha Quadrant. You start getting all your ships kitted with that. Why not?
True.
And then if there
But
was ever,
like, yeah, who else? Who's going to step to them at that point?
yeah, at
Well,
that
the
point,
Klingon, they're
nothing. There's no one.
they
Like
get blown up.
by then, the Dominion is dealt with.
True.
Like there's nothing. Like I said, there's so many problems with this and the way they introduced to the future episodes. Bad writing. Anyways, right. I want to get to my solution now because I've had enough of a rant of how this is. That was 15 years of hate. Or however long Voyager like wrapped it up. All right. So the way I would have concluded this, right, was I would have picked it up differently. I would never have. That's not how Voyager would have got home. So I would have done it like this. I wouldn't have done the Kess way of flinging them out of Borg space. So okay, so I would have got 8472. I would have kept that part the same. I would have found a way. Well, no, I would have kept that part the same. We would have given the Borg the nano was it the nanotech to kind of defend against 8472 and let them go off on their tangent. Would have ignored the tourists, but then the entire episode season after I wouldn't have the Kess episode that flung us clear of Borg space, because the most exciting parts are what happens on the outer skirts of the Borg territories. So you know the stories that grim story I painted of what happened to Arturus and his people, right? I would have because you just done the 8472 part of it. I would have let Janeway face the consequences of her decisions. Sorry, 1 second, guys.
Damn.
Sorry, I muted it for the audience.
You didn't mute it.
No. You don't know.
Oh, okay. Go.
Yeah. So.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah. So I would have let her dealt with the consequences of her decision, and the crew fighting the morality of what just happened, because I think it's good that they face those kind of the outcomes of they should face the consequences for the decisions they make. So I would like to see it rather than them being brought out of the Borg region completely. They're taken to the cusp of the outer colonies. They come across species getting assimilated by the Borg, or on the verge of getting absolutely annihilated by the Borg, and they do what they can, and it becomes kind of a more kind of humanitarian relief effort of what they do, and they see the grim realities of it, and they get people are blaming them. Why did you do this? Why did you make this decision for us? We could have done, like all the things our tourists were saying about Voyager.
Yeah.
Like let them deal with it, because I think that's how you build character on top of something like that. And then eventually let them clear Borg space. Obviously with some really good Borg related episodes that kind of builds them up to be now this apex predator once again.
Yeah.
Right? I would then add another season and introduce more species more exploration, more moral dilemmas and quandaries, right? More character development just for one season, right? And then to conclude on how they get home, rather than saying, here's a portal or a shortcut or a like quick way to get home, like this thing, they should make it like a kind of a moral sacrifice, whether it's putting them in suspended animation or whether it's through I wouldn't say like temporal anomalies or anything like that. No, nothing that really shortcuts it. Maybe like 50 years later they finally made it home, or like something that kind of shows the impact of the journey and what's happened along the way.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Like you don't have to make it this kind of end all be all exciting kind of they got home and blah blah blah. And does it really matter when they got home?
They didn't want to be alive. That makes sense. Like
No,
to
no,
see
but like
that they made it.
rather than saying they got home in say immediately after they exited Borg space, you could future jump, like say like after a season for it, right? You could see like, because there's one thing I love about Star Trek is the threading they do. So a outcome of a plot has changes or ripples throughout the entire season of Star Trek, and also impacts the episode. So maybe they develop a new warp technology. Maybe they, you know, may not get there in 5 years, but get there in 10. And you future cut to it of the Voyager, of that Voyager getting home. But you're learning through a series of flashbacks of what happened in that 10-year journey. So, like, rather than having one massive episode dedicated for them to go back, a series of micro episode flashbacks of what happened, because I think that's a more cohesive kind of understanding of what happened. Because I was thinking, rather than having like everyone getting home, everyone's having their own kind of memory of what was stuck to them in that trip for that remaining 10 years. And then you get 10 mini episodes of learning what happened to Voyager, rather than just this one super episode of how they got home.
That'll be interesting. Like like you see their journey and
Yeah, because I want to see more expo. The thing about Voyager is it became a little bit too action packed at the end of it. I want to see more Star Trek. There wasn't. It just felt like phases and sex appeal rather than the moral quandary of what, rather than the ethical side of things, the morality or the moral lessons that you tend to learn from Star Trek. Anyways. Yeah. Okay. So we have actually ran out of time on this episode. Yeah. We're
gonna say, quick. Can I do a quick? How would I rewrite it?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Oh, dude, that's so me. I'm so sorry. I've been just
just real quick.
Yeah, cool.
It's gonna be short. It's like basically, since I had to rush it, maybe do something like.
Okay, let's start off with you. Right. What faults did you see in Voyager? Because you've watched it.
It's the same as you. It's just how easy they were beating the shortcut home. It's a quick jump. I was like, what? The tech's been around all this time, and like they fell upon it, and then to get to it, they had to defeat the Borg, and they actually defeat the Borg to the point that they're so messed up they can't
do anything,
do nothing. They're like completely stuck. Oh yeah, it's just like they solved like two massive problems in one go. It's like, so there's no major threat no more. Did 8472 get not wiped out, but they got stopped, didn't they?
Oh yeah, they got stopped.
The whole bioweapon and
yeah. Remember they also had that training facility where they were looking like humans.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was weird. That was weird episodes, bro.
Anyways. Yes, they got all that. So it's like, and also like you said, how they implemented the future tech real quick. The holographic emitters, or I can't remember. That's the top of my head.
Yeah. Holographic emitters on the hub.
Quickly put it on. Oh yeah, we're sorted. We did that jump. We're done. We're home.
That's it. Oh, what? Absolutely crazy, isn't it?
Like after all that time, it's like, okay, oh, cool, okay, we're home. But there's no. I know there's a whole things about you can't need to get home, but like, my suggestion would be maybe if they had like say if they discovered some sort of old like old tech, or maybe like some previous people that the Federation left something there and there's like discovered like some sort of slipstream maybe or something like that. There's
Yeah.
like, but it's like a dangerous route. You can't just do it and like you'll be there. It's like it's dangerous. They have to weigh up the odds, the pros and cons. You
Mm.
see them run tests, the possibilities, and
See,
where they could end up.
that's not
That
a
could
bad
something
idea,
like that.
right? Rather than like just trying to do it in 2 episodes, they could have introduced that tech in the last season, and each episode will get them say cut 10 years off, so they're now
Yeah,
10 years closer, 10 years closer, and then at the end of the season, it's like we're talking, they're only a month away now from the finish line. You know what I
yeah,
mean? That's not a bad
yeah.
idea.
So
I like that.
something like that. Then like say they don't obviously they need the Borg tech, then the still Borg space.
Mm.
When they come across like what was that game? They had like the separated Borg. They didn't call it collective. They call it the was it cooperative or something like that?
Oh yeah. That's
Like they
Chakotay. Chakotay discovered them ages ago.
yeah. So they got something like that. They discover that type of thing, and they're like working on this technology to navigate that type of quantum slipstream or whatever.
Yeah,
They have to work with them and like discover stuff and like maybe go on adventures to get certain tech to bring it back. There's like not just a quick shortcut. It's like they have to actually work for it to earn the like not the right, but like they feel like it's earned instead of like you just get the shortcut.
Hmm.
It's like, oh yeah, we actually go through this now to like maybe like tie up some character developments. Like, was it is it the Doctor? It's find his like human side or pick a name and so you have to tie up things like that and maybe face a couple more dilemmas. Do we do the jump? We may not come out this unscathed. Like we might damage parts of the ship and lose crew. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like make it a bit more like sciencey instead of like, oh, it's a quick shortcut.
I mean,
Oh,
there
we
would have
can beat a
been.
Borg now. Yeah, okay, that's it.
I
Sorted.
think, yeah, but it's also um, like, like why? Because like my thing is this, right? Is the Borg were well written, but they never really kind of explained why they couldn't just create clones and simulate them to grow their combat force, and then create more ships off the back of that and then simulate more and kind of spread out. And I've always wondered why they haven't done that. There were so many parts you could have done with the Borg to kind of consolidate them. Because like I know they seek out uniqueness of individual species to add their
Yeah,
kind of uniqueness to their own, but if it was just a numbers thing and create just an endless army, like why couldn't they just take the Jem'Hadar blueprints and just say, okay, let's create an army of Jem'Hadar? It's like I always wondered who's
that'd be
gonna.
pretty wild though.
Yeah, I mean, like that. It's weird because like I always thought to myself as well, the ending of Voyager did not have to involve the Borg
Yeah,
because
I get what you're saying.
I feel like the ending of Voyager should have been about the crew and the journey, not just to kind of cap it off. And I think that's why the payoff feels so bad and so weak. It's because I wanted to see more character development and the people they would have become as they got home to Earth. And I think
Yeah,
that's what it is to me. It's kind of sad because I feel like we were robbed of the payoff we deserved for that. Because I think was it Voyager was 7 seasons, 8 seasons? I don't know. I think on top of my head.
it was quite well.
Yeah, it was long, and like you start to. For me, Star Trek has always been that kind of pillar of sanity, where if the whole world is going crap, I can just watch a couple of episodes of Star Trek, I can feel zen again. Like if you've got the whole world against you, just watch an episode of Star Trek, and then you feel like, okay,
Hmm.
I found my morals, and I know the right from wrong, and just carry on in the world that we live in today. And as you watch Star Trek as well, you kind of grow and start to like the characters. Like they
Yeah,
become like what you call family members. And I felt like you robbed my family members of the endings they deserve. And that's how I want to conclude this episode today. Is I felt like you could have developed these characters to be somebody and give them the payoff they deserve.
yeah,
Like I don't need to see people get promoted. I don't need to see them. I just wanted one more opportunity to see them grow. And in those last 2 episodes, we didn't see any of that. I'm sorry. And
yeah. They got yeah. They skipped the whole load of character development and just got right to the end of it. It's like
yeah.
What?
100%. And we didn't even get to see Harry Kim become a lieutenant.
Yeah.
Forever.
The whole thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, the forever an ensign.
Wow. He's been through so much as well.
Yeah, I know. He's the only character that's just been constantly abused in the history of Star Trek. He got it more than red shirts.
Damn.
That's crazy when you think about it. Like, he's the only person I know that probably died twice.
I don't remember his deaths.
Yeah, so when Voyager got trapped in a spatial anomaly, it created 2 duplicate Voyagers as the Vidians.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah.
The Vidians were going to like organ harvest, and you had one battered Voyager and one like more decently well repaired Voyager, and that their Harry Kim died. So the Harry Kim for the duplicate is the real Harry Kim that's surviving in their universe right now. So that's not even the real Harry Kim.
Wait, hold on. He died more than twice, didn't he?
Yeah, he's died like a couple of times. Yeah. So he's died there. What was his next death? 8472. So technically he died when that thing attacked him. Then he almost died. No, he died when he was reverting the timeline. So when he was trying to undo the slipstream accident, he died in the future. The future version of him died. And then what was the other ones?
What was the one when there's like a duplicate, but it's like a bio duplicate that copied the whole ship and everything?
No, that's the one I'm talking about. That's the Vidians. That was the first instance he died. He died. He died so many times. He's get the worst things done to him. Like, there was one episode where they literally, when 8472 affected him, they like cut him in the chest, and he had like a tendril going up his nose. He was lying on the bed, and all you could see is like a little tear coming out of his eye. Like, it was weird. Anyways, guys, I'm going to conclude it here. Is there anything you want to add?
Just do it. Oh no, we just end it here. It's got quite long.
Yeah, this has been a long episode. So guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of A and B to C. I hope you guys enjoyed today's debate. I think I did go on a bit too long about Voyager, but we also had a good, interesting conversation about Game of Thrones. If you do like these episodes, please remember to like, subscribe, and share to whoever you can. If you do have any comments or takes of your own, feel free to put that in the comments. If you think you know more about Star Trek than me, which I highly doubt, please put that in the comments. I think I've watched every episode of Star Trek to date, except for Brave New Worlds and Lower Decks and Prodigy.
You haven't watched Lower Decks?
I've watched some of it. I just don't like it.
You don't like it? Oh, I like it. I like it's a whole parody of the whole thing, and like,
yeah, I like the fact that people like that, but it's just it's not Star Trek to me. Anyways,
no, fair enough.
Yeah, I'll still play. We talk about. I'll still play Star Trek Online. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I need to jump back in and see what it's like.
I play it on PC now. It looks so much better on PC than PS5.
Oh,
I
really?
need to update the graphics because it's running PS4 code. It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, true.
Anyways, guys, thank you so much. Adrian, is there anything you want to say before we kind of log out?
Like, share, subscribe, and yeah, just keep engagement going.
Yeah, that's it, guys. I'm completely blanking out here. Anyways, guys, bye. Bye.
Peace.